sets up Kispert. Bangs down another three.
Well, he is pure. So the quote-unquote best shooter in the draft is a label that's been bestowed upon you. How much do you embrace it, and why is that label kind of been attached to your name?
Yeah, I mean, I embrace it. Of course I do. I mean, I want to be the best shooter in the draft, and I want to be the best shooter in the world someday. It's seeing how I hunt shots on the floor, the kind of gravity I take from defense, and just being ready to shoot it no matter what. So whether it goes in or not on a certain night, teams know I can, shoot it no matter what.
Well, with Bradley Beal out here, you're going to probably be getting a lot of open shots, and Coach Unseld was telling me last night, spacing on the floor is really important, and you're going to be a floor spacer. So, how do you see yourself fitting on this team?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just playing off of Brad, to be honest. I mean, that's kind of the number one thing. I mean, I'm moving pieces around on the back end for him to make plays and do what he does, make his life a little bit easier. And then, when he can't get something off, or an opportunity comes to me, I'm going to knock down shots and make plays off the shot as well. So. It's a pretty simple formula, and playing with a guy like Brad especially makes it easy.
Watching you play, I have to ask, where does your competitive drive come from?
It's just
Who's responsible?
It comes from a lot of things. I'm just naturally competitive my whole life. My brother was, I have a brother 2 years older than me, and we played on the same teams growing up all the way since we were little. So the classic hooping in the back, fist fights, getting in fights and stuff. So, that's kind of where it started, was with Calvin.
Kispert with the jam off the hook feed.
How about this step and go? He is cooking.
The one thing that kind of stands out when I kind of just looked at your bio is 137 college games, 4 years at Gonzaga. That resume means something, and winning, I think 90% of your games. If someone asked you how important was it to be a 4-year player in college to help you develop to the NBA, what would you say?
Vital. One of the most important, decisions that I've made. I'm a way better player than I was even a year ago. So that year in and year out improvement, both on the stat sheet and just as me as a person and as a player, was vital. And I can't, think of it happening any other way, and I'm so happy it did.
This is going to be probably the hardest question I have to ask you, but are you ready to be Rui Hachimura's rookie?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't really thought about exactly what that means yet, but I think I'm ready to handle it. Yeah, you never know where you're gonna end up. You never know who's gonna be there, who you're gonna cross paths with. But literally, Rui was the first person to text me when I got drafted, and we can't wait to hang out again and spend time on the floor together. And it's gonna be really fun. I spent a lot of really good time with him at GU, and great player, great person, and I can't wait for more.
Isaiah, first of all, man, welcome home. Last night when I saw the video of you seeing the announcement, talk to me what that felt like for you to finally hear your name attached to an NBA team, and ironically, the Washington Wizards.
Man, it just felt like destiny. Something in my heart always told me that I was gonna be going back home to do something great, man. And when I got my name called, my heart dropped, my body was shaking. And when I heard the Wizards, everything just kind of calmed down.
Tell me about the G League and why that experience was more important to you than going to college.
I feel like the G League was important for my, development as a professional basketball player on and off the court. That's where I learned how to be a young man and live on my own, and also have a job to obtain and uphold. And I think that was the first time, I had been in the real world by myself, and it's prepared me well.
How does your game translate to the NBA? If somebody didn't see you yet, and they're like, man, how does Isaiah Todd play? How would you describe it?
A lot of coaches and a lot of people, that dissect my game say that I have a game that, is a part of this new age, this new era of the NBA. I feel like I can stretch the floor and shoot the three and guard all positions. And at my height, I move pretty fluently.
Tommy, something that kind of just stood off the stat sheet when I look at Kispert, I see 137 games played. What's the value of that for you when you were looking at him as a prospect?
He's already NBA ready to go. He's been well coached. He is somebody that's a high achiever, very mature player. And I think those games right there are going to be very, very valuable for his transition to the NBA. There's not a whole lot he needs to learn that he hasn't already been coached. Now it's just applying it. I think he's going to be a fantastic shooter at the NBA level.
In your evaluation and studying him as a prospect, how much did his competitive fire Where did you rank that on your board of things that he does well?
Hey, he's unbelievable. You know, he came in for a workout and he just wows you. How many shots he can make under a certain amount of time. He's a very proficient shooter. He's somebody that I think is going to fit in perfectly here.
When I saw what you guys did at 31, I went, oh, we're bringing Baltimore Hoopers in here now. Tell me about Isaiah Todd and his experience he was able to gain with the G League Ignite team.
I think it was a tremendous experience for him. He started out up in Walnut Creek with that team and some scrimmages, but for 3 months he was scrimmaging, being coached by Brian Shaw, and had a lot of NBA people there. I thought getting him to the bubble, playing 15 games against high-level people. He had a game winner against Canton. He showed his best game is actually a game I was at when they beat the Spurs team. He's just wonderful. I think he's got a great opportunity down the road in the future. I don't want to put any stress on him, but he has the intangibles, got excellent size. He's still very young. He's got a lot to learn. There's no question there, but I tell you what, his threes go in. For us to find floor spacers is critical. Find guys that can help at the defensive end. He's going to really fit in well.
He's got a discernible skill. The guy's played for 4 years. He's well coached, high IQ. Everything that comes back, he's got great character. So he's played in meaningful moments. You know, after 4 years, he's a guy you can plug in right now, and he's going to make shots. He's not going to be scared of the moment.
There's something tangible about 137 college games.
No, that's a real number. I mean, you're going to go through some stuff. And I think, especially after 4 years, I think he's kind of learned what he's good at, where he needs to, apply his focus, and he's obviously improved his craft each year. To see him now in his senior season, and shot over 44% for three, that's legitimate, and I think that translates to the next level.
What is your expectation for a young man, 4 years in college, but yet coming into your program? What do you need him to kind of get day one?
Right. I think the biggest thing is play to your strengths, and I think he will. I mean, that's what players do. Thankfully, his strength is going to help us.
Right.
It's going to help our spacing. I think with the attention that's going to garner, it's going to open up a lot of things for other people.